Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. In tonight's video I want to discuss another really exciting project, and that's TenX. So these guys are trying to solve that real world problem of making cryptocurrency easily spendable. Now, the faster we can do that, the sooner we get to mass adoption, which is what we all want. So these guys recently had their ICO, very popular, raised $34 million in the first 7 or 8 minutes, went on to raise around $80 million, and currently sitting at a market cap of around $400 million for that roughly 100 million paid tokens in circulating supply. I believe 205 million paid tokens total supply. So let's just jump over to their website here, making digital currency spendable anytime, anywhere. And the more easily we can do that for the average person, as I said, the more likely we get cryptocurrency mass adoption. Now, this platform has got multiple use cases as well as just being a spending platform, and I'll talk about that as we move down the presentation, but I'll also touch on these rewards structures that give the paid token value. So now at the moment they've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, and all Ethereum ERC20 compliant tokens, but I'm sure these guys are looking to add more currencies as they progress. Now, the next thing I just want to touch on was this: because they're building this platform, this gives every chance to go down more paths in the future, and especially once they are able to get that banking license themselves. So it opens up the door to lending, security, exchange, an exchange-traded fund, more applications than just being able to spend cryptocurrency through their app. Now, the thing that's made this so attractive for a lot of people, and rather than other cards out there or apps, and I know this space is red hot for competition at the moment, but TenX have got 0% spending and exchange fees when using their cards. So I'll speak about exactly how that works as we move through the presentation. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube demonstrating the TenX app. And this isn't a white paper. This is a real-world working product with 1,000 users in Singapore with a live version since the start of the year, okay? So while that valuation of $400 million may seem high, I'll speak about why I think that's fair as we move forward through the video. So the TenX is built on top of this Comet network technology. So cryptographically secure, off-chain, multi-asset, instant transaction network. So what that means is basically the Comet network is a protocol where every blockchain is interconnected, and it also allows off-chain transactions, which is really important as well if we want to get that mass adoption. So interoperability of blockchains through that Comet protocol. Now, as always, we look for the quality of the team. You're going to recognize a few names here. Probably recognize Julian from the social media and YouTube videos. Co-founder Toby's got a bachelor's degree in computer science, a master's in artificial intelligence. We've also got some important investors here. Vitalik is invested, okay? He's not actually part of the company. There's a bit of confusion whether or not that was an honest mistake when they listed him, but he is definitely an investor in this project. So just jumping over to the white paper now and the roadmap now. These guys are hoping to have a sort of initial live version of this Comet network in Q4 this year, and full integration of Bitcoin and Ethereum by Q2 next year, which is really exciting. So there's the 12-month roadmap there, the 3-year roadmap there, and check out their white paper if you haven't already for a more detailed view. So they did raise a lot of money, as I said. I still think that's a fair valuation if they succeed with this technology and get mass adoption. I'll speak about that a bit more at the end of the video, but here's how they're allocating the funds. So majority of those funds is going into developing that Comet technology, which is going to be the key to whether or not this project succeeds. So next up, I just want to show you the TenX card itself. So really attractive, sleek looking card in my opinion. I've downloaded the app, I've had a play around with it. A nice friendly user interface. Select the cryptocurrency you want to pay in. As I said in those YouTube videos, it's instantaneous when you pay, It takes that out of your balance at the market rate at the time, which is really exciting. So no fees. Okay, in the traditional infrastructure of Visa and MasterCard, okay, the merchant wears that fee of a couple of dollars. So if you pay for something $100, okay, you only spend $100 in Bitcoin, and the merchant or the issuer, the bank, okay, the other middlemen wear that fee, that small percentages that get broken down, and TenX or the pay token also gets a bit of that that merchant fee to pay out, as I just spoke about before, to reward the users of this card. So anytime you purchase, you're going to get 0.1% of pay tokens as a reward for the card holders anytime you make a purchase. So 0.5% rewards to the TenX token holders as well. So the more transactions and the volume, okay, the amount of money people spend, the more people get this card, okay, the more value this 10x token is going to have for holders, okay. So think of it as a bit of a dividend. Now the next thing I just want to talk about is the comparison to other cards or other applications in this space, and I have covered a couple already, and this space is red hot, and I hope they all succeed, and the free market will decide which one's best. But as I said, that 0% exchange rate is going to make this very attractive for a lot of people. So check out that fee comparison table. 2 pages here comparing it to, WireX, Zappo, Monaco card has been really popular lately. Token card, a lot of you guys have had it already. We've got BitPay, Shift, so plenty of competition, but at the moment it appears that these guys do have the lowest fees, and we'll see whether others lower their fees if TenX really starts to gain market share. So check that out in the white paper as well. Now that Comet technology that I've spoken about briefly already, there's a bit of a visual representation, and they're using that Comet protocol to link all these different blockchains and more in the future. So true, instant, frictionless and cheap payments for users worldwide, global access without limitation to other assets and the business project that I spoke about, so room to expand this model in the future, business opportunities, recurring revenue streams for banks and other liquidity providers, and allowing for rapid adoption on top of existing networks with cheap and secure infrastructure, which I touched on already. So now, as always, there are limits. So the Know Your Customer process allows you to increase the amount that you can spend per day, or even get out of an ATM. So, a couple of $1,000s here per day, and this is quoted in euros. So this is really making it easy. And we're lucky in Australia that we've had a few platforms that have allowed us to pay bills and other things. But once we have this in the majority of countries around the world, a card where you can simply choose your cryptocurrency, as I said here, choose your cryptocurrency and just tap your TenX card to pay, okay? This is almost getting to the point where this is mum and dad user friendly, which is what we need to get mainstream adoption. So finally, this is the sort of market cap and the numbers that we're trying to break into, and why I think that a $400 million valuation is still fair for a company that is breaking into this space. So you'll see here that these numbers are not listed in billions or millions, but in trillions of dollars. And these figures are from 2014 and 13. And I know that I think the most recent figures are up around $13 trillion for Visa and MasterCard and these other credit card payment companies. And as I said, if we can get up anywhere near that, or even just capture a small percentage, okay, that's going to deliver a lot of value for those paid token holders. Finally, I just want to touch on this little Easter egg that was dropped in a Simpsons episode recently. Mr. Burns holding up a card, allowing him to live like a king and buy anything, anywhere with no limit. So that logo on the box does look familiar. The Simpsons is written by some smart guys with maths and computing background. So I love when they drop little Easter eggs like this, and a lot of you guys will be familiar with other calls the Simpsons have made over the years that have come to fruition. So Exciting stuff. I really like TenX. I like what they're doing. As I said, download that app and have a play around with it if you haven't already. Red hot competition in this space. The free market will decide which one's best. I know Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, Android Pay have all spoken about incorporating this TenX technology as well. So plenty of exciting stuff to come. It's great to see cryptocurrency getting this mainstream traction, okay? Please like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe, share these videos around. And as always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Cheers.